previously on multiply men.
But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So yeah, like he said, responsibility is key.
The wise man has great power. A man of knowledge increases strength. For waging a war, you need guidance. And for victory, many advisors.
Yeah.
So strength is wisdom.
That's good.
And how you use that wisdom.
That's good.
Well, Micah 6:8 says, he has told you, oh man, what is good and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God.
Well, you gotta watch out for that spirit of comparison. And the world is a spirit. The world has a narrative of look at me, right? Everything is measured by accomplishment and not by character. So when you got a society and a world that's based on those foundations, you got a generation that is trying to define themselves by external factors. So they easily offended. When they think that's masculine, they're quite the opposite, because you're completely led by emotion. And a man that's led by emotion is going to come to his demise.
Yep.
We talked about leadership. We talked about you think of a good king. If you want a good king, you want a king that leads by compassion, not by his emotion. Because if you had a king that led by, he'll lead you to war. The minute he's offended. No self-discipline.
Yeah.
So part of masculinity has to be to completely rebuke the spirit of comparison, first of all. So you're not easily offended because you're not worried about what other people think. The other thing is, of course, humility, right? And compassion. Compassion. Lead by compassion. Can you love with compassion? Can you cover your wife in compassion? So when she might be out of pocket, but you love her through it, instead of trying to bully her into a position so she acquiesces to what you want her to believe. That won't last anyway, because she might just do that to keep the peace at that particular point in time, and then she'll go right back to square one. But if you can lead with love and cover and love and grace, so she actually moves to believe in what you're saying, because she knows that you're doing it out of love and you're led by God, she'll stay the course. And that's a big difference.
So I take it the topic is masculinity.
Yeah.
Picked up on that.
But in lieu of what you said, and apropos to that, being the king, very true. And if you know who you are, the king don't have to go around saying he the king.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I don't know, to me, masculinity is being a leader. And again, going back to what you said, a lot of times with what's going on in the family right now, because they're breaking up the so-called nuclear family, there's a lot of men that are being raised without a father in the home. So they're being raised by mama and grandma. And a lot of guys who I deal with who are murderers, gang members in that prison system, when I go minister to them, when I go talk to them, I'm saying, well, why did you shoot so-and-so? Why did you stab so-and-so to death? And it's over the most ridiculous stuff. But the stuff that they're fighting and killing each other over is stuff that a woman would be mad at. They're becoming effeminate. Emotions. They're being ruled by their emotions. They're not thinking. Your body can't do anything unless your mind tells it to do it. And a lot of times, we're putting our mind at the front of the train. I mean, our emotions, and putting our mind in the caboose, which should be the other way around. So these guys are fighting over silly stuff, killing each other. That's really something that women usually fight over, like stepping on my shoes. And you didn't say, excuse me, that's ridiculous, come on. But even the woman fighting over that stuff, we're conflating society with the church. Because even a woman shouldn't be fighting over stuff like that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to me, what a man is being a leader. And how you be a leader is humble. And you have to surrender. You have to surrender to Christ. In order to be a good man, I have to learn how to be a good bride first. Hear me out on that.
Come on.
I have to learn how to be married to Christ. He's my bridegroom.
There you go.
So in order for me to be a good man, I have to be married to him first. So I have to be a good wife to him in a sense, a spiritual sense, in order for me to be a good man to myself, to the brother right here, and to be a good husband to my wife. So to me, I don't see God as having a specific role for a man or woman in the Bible. Of course, we know that men are stronger than women. But these roles of a man is supposed to provide this, a woman is supposed to be submissive. That's in the Bible, that submissive part. But a man is supposed to be submissive too. It says submit to each other.
Yep.
That's right.
But we're just saying about the woman.
Yeah.
That's society saying just woman be submissive.
Right.
Man, you be the leader. Because the minute you become, there's only one person that's providing protector. That's the Lord.
Yeah.
He's Elohim, protector. He is Jehovah Jireh, provider.
Right.
We as men are just stewards of what we give them. So in a sense, men and women supposed to be leaders. We're both supposed to be helping each other out.
Yeah.
These roles that we have of masculinity and femininity, that's been given to us by the world,
Yeah.
not God. God is very careful not to put us in a box like that so we won't be fighting like how the world fights over it.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, if you go by what society says a man is, you provide for the family, you bring home the bacon, you provide the emotional support for your wife. It's like, wait a minute, if I'm providing the emotional support for the minute I fall sick and I don't give her emotional stability, the house gonna go into a train wreck. If I can't provide finances, then my wife gonna say I'm no longer a man.
Right.
So actually, who has more power to define your masculinity in her so-called submissiveness? The woman. If you falling short, she can define who you are as a man. Oh, you ain't no real man. They say it all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're going by what society's saying, and they're conflating that even in the church. Even the church, the preachers. What kind of job you got? Well, I'm not working right now. Well, you need to get a job. But I got a PhD, and the only thing I can find right now is be a trash man. Well, become a trash man. But I got a PhD. You need to get a job. Why? Because you're the man.
What kind of car are you driving?
What?
Like,
But
what happened to falling
but
in
my
love with a
wife-
dude with a bus pass, man?
But my wife makes 6 figures. But you the man though. Well, why can't she just support me right now? Because we're supposed to be supporting each other.
Right.
See how things get mixed up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, when does a man stop being a man? A lot of times women say, oh, if he's unstable, he doesn't have a job, relying too much on a woman, he still lives with his parents. But then you ask the question, well, when does a woman stop being a woman?
Well, you said women are supposed to be submissive. I think men are called to be even more submissive because we're supposed to love our wives as Christ loved the church and sacrifice ourselves. And I don't know how much more submissive you can be than sacrificing yourself for your wife and living to do everything to honor God and her.
I would dare to say that that's not just for the woman though. You can apply that for the woman also, even though that's addressed to the man.
Yeah.
But a woman's supposed to do the same thing. If there comes a stance where I'm in dire need and I need my wife to maybe even give her her life for me, where in the Bible says that she can't do that?
It doesn't say that she can't, but she's not called to.
But why? But why? I'm just hear me out now.
Yeah.
Why is she not called to do it? Because she's supposed to love you. You're supposed to be both loving each other equally.
Yeah.
So as one.
As one.
As one, yeah.
So if we as one, if I need help, if she needs to give her life, she should do it.
So
in your view, are there roles for a man and a woman?
There, as far as what now? Like society says?
No.
Oh.
Biblically.
Biblically, the only roles I believe for a man, because I'm gonna say because some people believe in the Bible differently than I do. That's why I said what I believe what the Bible says. Okay. But biblically, you can see that. I mean, it don't take rocket science to figure it out. Men are stronger than women. So when it comes to a job like, say, a soldier, that's not fit for a woman to do. You know what I mean?
Fighting,
defending as far as on a mass scale, like to defend a nation. That's not going to work.
Just on a mass scale.
Yeah, if you look at if you have an army just of women going against an army of men, let's use Ukraine and Russia. Say if Russia's forces were all women and we're just doing ground battle, and Ukraine has a whole bunch of men, all men, and they're going to the battlefield to fight. I mean, we could pretty much guess who's going to win.
Okay, wait,
But with
let's-
technology, though,
Okay, wait, let's scale it down. Let's
Hold
scale
on,
it down.
hold on. Pause real quick. Slide that mic in between y'all.
We get both of y'all.
Yeah, because I
Let's
can't.
scale it down. Let's scale it down. You're walking down downtown Atlanta.
Mhm.
Who's walking in front? You or her?
me and my wife.
When there's a crowd of men, like strange men
Mhm.
in hoodies,
Okay.
who's looking to protect whom?
And
Or whom expecting to protect whom?
the man is strong. I was saying, that's what I was saying. The man
Okay.
is stronger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. It's,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In smaller sense. So, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I believe. In
so-
that sense, because men are stronger, in that sense of protection, yes. But in that particular sense, because we're stronger.
Mm.
So that makes common sense.
Mhm.
But say in the area of finances, something happens and she's stronger than that area.
Mhm.
She needs, if I need her, it might be better for her. She's making 6 figures, and in my occupation, I'm making only $30,000 a year. For her to maybe do what she has to do, and if instead of, let's say for instance, I want to stay home and teach the kids because I know how the school system is right now, and I don't agree with it.
Mhm.
But she makes enough money where the whole family can live off of her salary. But
Right.
yet my job, it's still a job now. It's still that's a vocation to do that, to
Right,
homeschool.
Right.
Sure.
I can stay home and homeschool.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I agree that the roles can be interchangeable, but we all have specific roles that we built for. We could choose, depends on the situation, circumstances, that you may be stronger in this finances than I am, but then so I will back up. But we still have our basic general roles that we were designed for. My question, my point.
no, so our general roles, we have no general roles. It has to come down to the individual. It becomes subjective because I have my own relationship with Christ, and so do you.
That's
So
right.
does my wife. So it comes to individuality. God didn't make us by cookie cutters.
Okay.
So I can't say I'm specifically, like you said, the word generalize. I can't generalize say that you're supposed to do this and your wife's supposed to do that, and his wife's supposed to do this and he's supposed to do. I can't say that because it comes down to what we, like you just said, what do we individually have to offer that's going to be the best for us to be one?
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Great discussion, by the way. I did want to jump in a little earlier, but that time has passed. One of the reasons why I led with responsibility is because I do agree with you. I agree with you. I think that I could be in a relationship with a woman that's stronger than me. I'm a small guy. I can't bench press, but whatever. But I might. There's women out there that can definitely outbench me, right? She's stronger. But I believe I'm responsible. As the man, I pattern the masculine, the Christian masculine role that I believe Christ would by being responsible, right? And if that means I'm delegating the authority of her mowing the lawn or putting the roof up because she's physically stronger, then that's what it is. But if that roof collapses on me.
Right, right,
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm responsible, but I'm in my submission and my humility, I'm saying, baby, you stronger than me.
Right,
Go
right.
fix the roof.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm responsible.
Now, remember the first thing that I said that came out of my mouth is we as men, I define what masculinity is as being a leader. What you just said.
Got you.
Right.
But I also heard you say we both should be leaders.
We both should be leaders, but men should be leaders also.
So
And
who leads the leaders?
Man has to be the leader in the sense that, spiritual sense, that God set him up as a head. Like on your job, for instance, okay? It's like you have a boss, correct?
I don't call him a boss, but God is my boss. But I get what you're saying. I have superiors. In that, yeah. I understand what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So you have a boss. And so you may be smarter than your boss, right? You may be physically better than your boss. Your aptitude, like I said, could be 100% higher than his. But he's the one that delegates, like you said.
Right.
Because you can't have two bosses. It's going to be a train wreck.
Right.
So that's what I meant when I said it in that sense. There ultimately has to be one ultimate leader.
Correct.
But we have to understand that if I'm your boss, I still need your input. Because if you're better at something than I am, I need you to lead that. I'm going to step aside and sit my behind down and say, this project right here, what is your name, sir?
Sean.
Sean, you lead that.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You lead that. You the lead on that one. I'm gonna sit back and because I have no idea what I'm doing with that.
Right.
That's
Now-
a great leader. That's an example of a great leader. However, that leader has the responsibility
Well, I was getting
to do that.
Yes, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
However, it's like I still have the responsibility of if it goes wrong, I'm the boss.
Yeah, right.
That's-
And that was never disagreeing with
That's
that.
where I'm going with.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying in
Yeah.
the first place.
All
That's
right.
like
No, I apologize.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, the man, my responsibility, my definition of masculinity is that the man is a leader.
Gotcha.
And he has to do that through surrendering. But at the same time, the women have to be leaders too, in the sense that if I'm not good at that, you're gonna have to lead at that baby.
Well, I got you.
You
I
understand
think
what
that's
I'm saying?
more of an assistant, not a leader.
Yeah.
No,
that's what
I wouldn't
lean
necessarily say that because
But like you said, there can only be one boss.
Correct.
So just because like your boss needs your assistance in something because you're better at it, that doesn't make you the boss or a boss. That makes you an assistant.
I don't really think of it that way because here's the thing. Because we're dealing with something spiritual,
Yeah.
with this leadership thing according to the Lord, that's spiritual. By you saying that, that's more of a carnal, worldly way of looking at it.
Could we
I
say
believe.
I'm just using
delegated?
your verbiage. That's it.
Could we
So-
use
But
delegated
and that's what I'm
authority?
saying. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. We because we're men and we are fallen,
Yeah.
we do the best we can with our words.
Right.
But the thing is, there's certain things that my wife may be able to do. And well, I'll try to use a worldly example. Say if the United States goes into war with Russia and they can't beat Russia by itself. So I have more money than France. A lot of times I delegate to France what to do.
Mhm.
But I can't beat Russia by myself.
Okay.
So can I really relegate France to the position of assistant? If I don't use them, I'm not going to win the war.
It is more
I
like a
can't do that.
delegation.
You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying.
You're delegating authority.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
basically
Yes.
temporary giving someone else
It's
the
a- it's a-
authority, like a leader, like a real leader would.
It's spiritual. It's leader. It's servant leader roles.
Well, I think many of us are we're basically talking about the same thing because at the end of the day, the rib came from man, not from woman. The woman is the assistant to assist the man,
Yeah. She's the helper.
not the other way around.
Correct.
So I could see my weakness and see her strength and say, hey, you handle this. But I have to see that. A weak man or one who's feel that he lacks self-esteem or is feminine, he would not see that. He would still try to overplay himself and jeopardize the whole situation. Just as Captain Kirk, he's not the strongest person, but he can still delegate situations, individuals to take care of things, but he's still the head of the enterprise. And the man is always going to be the head of the home. He may not be the richest, he may not be the strongest, but he has to be the most responsible. And when man loses responsibility and reason to want to take responsibility for situations, that's when the house falls.
All right. That's a good word to end right there. So we're gonna wrap it up on that.
That's good. That's good. May have to piggyback on that some other time. Yeah, we're gonna have
That's
part
all.
two. Part
Hot
two.
one.
Stay
But,
tuned.
Dropped y'all comment for the show.
Stay tuned. It was
Let
needed.
let
It's
us know
hot.
your thoughts on the subject of
Yes.
masculinity and just all the topics that we covered tonight about masculinity. Make sure you like, subscribe, definitely leave comments as we said, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Multiply Men. We hope today's episode inspired you in your walk with God. Please check out our other episodes and stay tuned for our next conversation. We want to say thank you for all the participants today and all of our sponsors. If you would like to be a part of the Multiply Men podcast, would like to sponsor us, or just have a topic that you would like us to discuss, please reach out to us on our social medias. Our handle on all social media accounts is Multiply Men. That's Multiply Men. Thank you again for listening and have a blessed day.